I have made a terrible mistake. Something unforgivable, which coincidentally is the episode title of season 5 episode 10 of the hit show Better Call Saul, which in turn is a spin-off to Breaking Bad, and that is the only Breaking Bad reference I'll make in this entire video because of how serious this topic is. Now, to give some lore to what's going on, we all know Netflix, right? Everyone likes to rib on it, and we also know about the hit show Stranger Things, one of the few things on Netflix keeping people subscribed in the first place. Stranger Things has this amazing ability to bring entire households of families together, and also to keep little white girls off of TikTok for more than 7 minutes at a time. But by the way, I don't even mean that as a bit. I've been scrolling through TikTok and I've seen unironic videos of girls watching Stranger Things without checking their phone, and they call it a dopamine detox. Now, I do want to say, I know it is like incredibly easy to rib on Netflix, and this video isn't talking about some like show that's sucked on there. I mean, honestly, the only thing I watch Netflix for is like my 8th rewatch of Breaking Bad, and that's it. And the worst thing is, they're looking at pulling that as well. Their license with Breaking Bad might actually end, which means Netflix is going to pull Breaking Bad. So there is no point to keep a subscription. What does UK Netflix have? They've got the anime, and then they've got a bunch of like drugs le good shows. Oh, bro, like fentanyl, cocaine is so good, bro. You just gotta be in the right headspace. You had a bad trip, you weren't with good people. You just need to like not worry about like anything in the world, and then you'll have a good trip, bro. The only thing I can think of at this point that everyone's actually excited for is Squid Game Season 2. And that show did not need a Season 2. Anyway, my point is, Stranger Things as a franchise is monolithic in scale, making careers pretty much overnight. Like, for example, Joseph Quinn, who played Eddie Munson in Stranger Things Part 4. He attended one of his first ever Comic Cons after his breakout role. And you can't help but just love the guy, how he's just breaking down crying in front of his fans. Now, watching him cry, I really felt that. But while Joseph Quinn was crying tears of joy and appreciation, I was crying tears of pure sadness. So the entire reason I'm making this video, a couple of months ago, I was in the UK with my girlfriend, Ida, Secret Corgi on Twitter. You've probably seen her help with the Iron Lung video. She did a lot of the stills during that, and she has done nothing else ever. Now, when me and her were in the UK, we thought, what do couples do to show each other's appreciation? And then I thought, I know, we'll get a matching tattoo, because no one on the face of the earth has ever got a matching tattoo and lived to regret it. Now, the reason why I regret this tattoo, it's quite complex. We haven't broken up at the minute. We're still fine. We're still together. It's not because of that. You know, we have a very healthy relationship. She gets to leave the sweatshop on weekends, but we had to decide on what kind of tattoo were we both going to share. You know, it had to be something that we both cared about, and the one thing we both agreed on was the anime Evangelion. Now, I do want to say, boys, I am not a very big anime fan. I honestly don't enjoy them, especially the longer lasting ones, because they seem to have this problem where they spend half the episode talking about what happened last episode, and then the second half of the episode talking about what they're going to do next episode. And they'll somehow split that into 4 parts before something happens. I remember watching Attack on Titan when it came out years ago, the first part, and I swear they spent like 3 parts talking on a roof about how they're going to roll a boulder or something. エレンを扉まで援護すれば僕らの勝ちだ死してよ我々の命と引き換えにしてでも The thing is, Evangelion avoids most of that because the show, if you sit down, about 20 seconds later, is entirely finished. That's because the show only had 1 season and each episode was about 7 seconds long. So overall, it was a pretty digestible show. That is until they released about 7 films, and each of those films was about 7 hours long. If you haven't seen Evangelion, I really recommend it. It breaks a lot of anime conventions. Like, for example, instead of the protagonist talking in their head the entire show, this protagonist only talks in his head for half the show. And one of my favorite character tropes, daddy issues, isn't just the main character. Every character in the show has daddy issues. Now, I know to some of you, Evangelion is the show about the sad hand covered in glue. If you know, you know. But to the rest of the world, it's a show about big robots and these kids with daddy issues that pilot the robots. Now, these robots are called units. For example, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and so on. I like Unit 1 the most because of the color scheme and the fact that it's the main character. And I, of course, am the main character of my own story. And Ida liked Unit 2 because she's a woman. So we decided to get Unit 1 and Unit 2 as matching tattoos because, you know, it's small, it's inconsequential, and, you know, it's not like I'm getting a big Japanese dialect on my chest or anything. Me love anime. The main reason we chose to get such a small tattoo as well is because apparently the process of getting a tattoo hurts, especially if it's somewhere where there's less muscle and fat, more closer to the bone. Honestly, when I did get the tattoo, it hurt a little bit. It's just like getting an injection, and then another one, and then another one. Okay, imagine like getting the COVID vaccine, but you get it 100 times a minute. It was kind of like that, so it wasn't really too bad. Now, to the initiated, you probably know where this story's going, but please, for the younger audience, let me finish. When we got the tattoos done, we were incredibly happy. The lining that was done, the accuracy, it was amazing. For such a small tattoo, I think it looks phenomenal. The girl who did it, by the way, Rain, if you're local to her in the UK area, please get a tattoo from her. She did a phenomenal job, and even though it is something so simple, it was very intricate, I feel, and she had to be quite accurate, and I love it. I love the way it turned out. But then, something disastrous happened. After we paid and after we left and enjoyed the rest of our little UK getaway, a month later, Stranger Things 4 came out, and in that season, revealed that all the psychic children are tattooed their name on their wrist. For example, the main protagonist, 11, played by Millie Bobby Brown, Drake's best friend, she has the number 11 tattooed on her wrist. I haven't shown it yet, by the way, because I was building up to a bit of a crescendo. Here's my tattoo, by the way. This is mine. Do you know how many people see me in the street? Friends, family, fans. They go to shake my hand. They see this on my wrist and they go, oh, you must be a Stranger Things fan. You must really like that number 1 character, the bad guy from the show. I was so happy with this tattoo, man. I was so happy with it. But no, we can't have nice things, apparently. I think the worst thing that can ever happen in your entire life is you get a tattoo based on something specific that is public knowledge, for that tattoo to then be completely overshadowed by another media that is insanely and infinitely more popular than what yours was based off. I just want to say now, this is a declaration of war. I see any of you in public that meet me, any of you, and you get this tattoo wrong, you get it wrong, because you'll get it wrong on purpose because you saw the video now, I will happily pull out my bag, and in my bag will be 2 things. 1, a katana made out of wood because I legally can't get an actual katana, and 2, a fedora, and I will put on that fedora, and by the time I do a little wink, say milady, and then tip the fedora, I would have already cut you down into dust from my wooden training katana that I'm legally required to own and I don't need a certificate for because it's not a real blade. Don't investigate me. This is a warning. This is a warning to never get a tattoo. I mean, I like it. I think it's cool. It's just... everyone thinks it's Stranger Things. Stranger Things fans be like, how are they gonna resolve this one? How are they gonna do it this time, guys? The girl that goes, ah! And then resolves everything. Great show. Great show. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I should just get like Japanese, just saying, oh my god, I love anime.